See? All right. It says you are live. Hello, everybody.
Yay.
We are here today with Aionna, and she is an aerial yoga instructor and a YouTuber.
Yes.
And I was very lucky to get to meet her a few weeks ago. So today we are going to be having a little interview, having a little chat. And I see some people have said hello already. Layla said hi,
Hi,
and
Layla.
Nasima, and
Nasima.
oh my, and Kavinu is one of my precious friends. I believe he's in the first year of middle school, so he's
Mm.
very young. So everyone, here we are with our lovely guest. And I don't know, where are you right now? Where are you
Okay,
located?
I am in the corner. There's an echo in here. I'll mention it over and over again. There's an echo in here because it's an empty aerial yoga studio, and this was the only way to do it tonight. Just
So
bear with
Iona's
us.
she's a hardworking woman. She it was we had to schedule in time or like right after she finished teaching. So she's coming to us straight from the studio. And
Yes.
if you want to check us out on Instagram, I am, as you know, this is fit_Leigh. And our lovely friend here is this correct? Is that the right spelling?
Yes.
Iona J. Leigh.
Jaylee.
And her YouTube, which is mostly devoted to fashion advice, is Iona Leigh. And all of the links are in the description. If you look in the description of this video, you can get all of that. Let's see if we got some more highs for you.
Hello.
And hello from Evan. Evan's my guy. He's my backup.
Hi,
So
Evan.
to get our conversation started, can you do a quick self intro? Who are you, and what do you do?
Okay, maybe it won't be quick, but I will do my best to make it quick.
Okay,
Okay,
can you do a
my
moderately
name,
paced self intro?
yes. My name is Iona. I
Mm-mm.
am an American just like Leigh. Even though we look different, I'm
That's
American.
right. That's right.
But I've been here in South Korea for 13 years with my family. I
Mm-mm.
have two boys. One is a teenager, he's a freshman in high school, and the other one is in fourth grade.
Oh,
And that gap is not great. Just to let you know, it's not fun at all.
so
They still
everyone,
fight.
have your children within
They
like
still
3 years
fight.
of each other.
Yes. So yeah,
Oh,
try to. That would be my big advice. Don't space it out if you can help
just
it.
just get them all out in one go.
Right.
Twins,
Yes.
if
And
possible,
yeah,
if you can.
although that's
Okay.
hard too. Yeah.
So if Iona is an American like myself, but she's been living here in South Korea for 13 years with her family. And I was wondering, could you talk about when you first came to Korea, like 13 years ago? What was
Mhm.
that like when you got here?
It was a culture shock, believe it or not. It's just because I look like this doesn't make it any easier.
I think there's a concept that if someone looks Asian, then they must be comfortable in all Asian cultures
Right.
completely. Like they know
hmm
everything, but
hmm hmm
it must have taken a lot of adjustment, right?
Right. The expectations are high, but you can only under deliver because you're American. What can you do? Like Leigh
That's
could probably get away with a lot of things. I
I
can't.
I know. This is something. If you an interesting part of international marriage in Korea
hmm
is that there
hmm
are very high expectations usually, and
hmm
you can maybe get away with, oh, I didn't know how we were supposed to do if you look super foreign. Right?
Yes.
But not necessarily if you don't. So must have been
hmm
a lot of adjustment. But obviously, you've got a beautiful, healthy, happy family now. And
Yes.
this is something I'm super curious about. How did you get involved in aerial yoga? Or first, can you tell us what is aerial yoga? Is it done
Okay.
in
It
planes?
okay. So what you need is a long hammock, but not the
Okay.
kind where you tie it up to a tree. It's made
Hmm.
out of some kind of a silky like material, which
Okay.
can withstand like 1,000 kilograms. So anyone can practically do this. And I got involved because I love trying new things. They had it available, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. It's basically kind of like a very amateur Cirque du Soleil. That's the
Oh,
best way to
okay.
put it. Hmm.
The so aerial yoga is done. It's in this giant silk cloth hammock, and you kind of
Yes.
move around, and it
Hmm.
has kind of a circus feeling. And of course,
Yes.
you must need a good bit of muscle strength,
Yes.
but
Yes.
not too much. And we had a
Right.
question here, I think from Layla. So we said it sounds similar with my accent, but we didn't say 30. We said 13 years. But
Yes. Uh-huh.
that's an interesting question though.
Hmm.
That's an interesting question. Do you think it's affected your English at all? Because
No.
I do find that my English gets a bit more simple over time.
You know what? I would say no for me because for the first big chunk of my stay here, I had to teach English
Okay.
for 9 hours a day. And also to keep up with that schedule, I would listen to a lot of podcasts
Oh.
and kind of mimic some of the things that were happening. And I
Mhm.
would get into certain kinds of discussions, debates with my friends. So, no, I would say no, not for me personally.
That's wonderful though. I'm so glad that you kept up. It sounds strange to compliment someone on maintaining their native language, but
Right.
many foreigners I know, one of my best friends came to Korea, and
Hmm.
after a couple of years in Korea, someone asked her, they said the Korean word for beef. They said
Hmm.
bulgogi. They said,
Hmm.
what is sogogi? What they said, what is beef in English? And she said, cow meat. She had briefly forgotten the word
Hmm.
beef. And
Right,
I thought
right,
that's something that happens to us. We had a
right.
question from Evan. An amateur Cirque du Soleil sounds like you're flying around the air with superhuman grace. Guys, check out her Instagram, please.
Hmm.
Aionna looks so cool. She shows some of her aerial stuff, and there's little combinations and tricks and
Yes.
movements, and they look amazing. And
Thank you.
by the way, I really want to try this out. So we've
Yes,
got to film together in the future.
yes. You need to
There's
come.
no way I can let you escape without teaching me this
Right,
stuff. And
right.
oh, don't worry, darling. Also, my
Yes, it's okay.
again, I speak English with a slight Southern accent, so
I love it.
thank you. 30, 13, 30, 30. They blend together.
Hmm.
Me English, some speak. Professor Curmudgeon, this is my YouTube mentor. I believe you've met him,
Hmm.
Iona.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
I
really?
love, oh, yes, at the YouTubers get together.
I think I know who that might
You
be.
think you know? Yes. A
Yes.
lovely gentleman and very
Hmm.
fond of teasing. He's been
Yes,
in
yes.
Korea for 793 years, so his
Yes,
English has
exactly.
downgraded just slightly, just a little
I know.
bit, just a
Yes,
tad.
it's depleted. Yes.
So,
He knew all the kings and queens of Korea
that's right.
from that time
He was
period,
here
right?
during the Joseon dynasty.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
so I wanted to ask you, what is your fitness background? Like, were you active as a kid? You got into aerial because you like trying
Hmm.
new things, but has that been a pattern for you all along?
Yeah. Yes, I would have to
Okay.
say I've always loved to climb things like trees, even when I was a kid. I loved just competing even with the boys. And when you're little, you could
You
actually go
can.
head to head, right? And I used to be one of the best out there. So I was pretty good at pretty much anything that I tried, but I particularly loved dancing. I didn't have any formal training or anything, but I loved watching movement like Star
Mm.
Search. I loved Star Search. It was a great show back in the 80s. And I would practice movement and audition for dance teams. and get
Oh,
it. But unfortunately, most American parents would be like, oh my goodness, my daughter got into this dance team or cheerleading squad. Yay, celebration. My parents were totally against it.
were your parents
And
very conservative?
yes, and overly conservative. That's not good either. And
It's
so, yeah.
that's a common theme in I'm not sure about all other countries, but in America there's definitely a certain kind of parent that thinks
Mm-hmm.
that like dancing or cheerleading or really moving yourself
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
almost any way is not good. So
Right.
some people can grow up with a difficult relationship with
Mm-hmm.
exercise if
Right.
movement is bad. So, oh, please
Right.
keep going. So that was you as a kid, like you were
Yeah.
just dedicated to dance and auditioning
Right.
even.
Yeah, I loved it. I really loved it. I think that if I were left up to my own, vices, I would actually at least be choreographing. You know, when I watched Street Woman Fighter, which was a famous show last season, I thought that would be me right there.
There's a famous
Hmm.
dance competition show in Korea lately, and it features mostly women or all women.
Actually, Street Woman Fighter was all the women dancers in South Korea, mostly in like the hip hop, like whacking, that kind of genre. And they would do dance battles. Like the
I,
crews would
I
have dance battles, right?
I only saw a little, but
Right.
that matches what I know of you, Iona. I feel like you are
Mm.
just so brimming with creativity, and
Hmm.
creative people have to create. They
Hmm.
have to be involved in
Hmm.
stuff. And
Right.
a hello from Quincy in the Philippines. Hi.
Oh,
And
hello.
oh, this was a question from Professor Kamachi. Do you eat any junk food? Iona, do you? Do
Of
you?
course. Of
Yeah.
course.
What's
But
your go to? What's your junk food of choice?
oh, oh, pizza, burgers, fries, all of it. I love all of that. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I in my head I divide fast food and junk
Hmm.
food, and like to me junk food is like snacks, like chocolate
Hmm.
and potato chips.
Hmm.
But that's maybe that's an argument for English class.
Okay.
And
Well, sure. All of that. Hmm.
let's see. And Layla had asked, do you think that your dance background helps you be good at yoga?
I believe so because movement is movement. And even in yoga, we have sequences that have to be memorized,
Mm-mm-mm.
and also how to use your body. Because generally, many people, when they come into fitness, when things get hard, they start to, bring up their shoulders in like a scrunched up position because it's hard. But
Mm-mm.
really, one of the basics for anything you do, weight training, anything, you've got to drop your shoulders, keep
That's
this
right.
area
That's right.
empty. So yes,
So
yes,
shoulders down, kind of chest or heart elevated
chest,
slightly, and
right,
you
right,
gotta get
right.
that posture, ladies and gentlemen.
Posture,
So
right.
I think yes, I think so many forms of dance or exercise or anything,
Hmm.
there's so much overlap. Because if you
Yes.
learn how to use your body or control your body in one area, you will
Hmm.
almost certainly have a great advantage in the next area.
Hmm. Right.
And let's see. We had we are fans of pizza.
Yes, I love pizza. I really do. If
It's
pizza could grow muscle, I would happily eat a whole pie every day.
that's right. If it would help us with those gains.
I know exactly. Unfortunately, not true.
And we had a question here. By the way, how did you meet each other the first time? We met at a YouTubers meetup a couple
Hmm.
of weeks
Hmm.
ago, and we just hit it off. I liked Iona's
Hmm.
energy. I liked her hopes or her dreams for her channel, and I wanted to see that happen. She's got some cool stuff that we could all benefit from. And from Evan is flying yoga, a marriage between yoga and Pilates. A quick Google image search looks like people doing Pilates and yoga in the air.
Yes, I would say so. I mean, I think a lot of the influence is really circus, because actually they do call going up in the air, doing all the movements and sequences with the hammock wrapped around you, they actually say circus movements. So I would say circus is the background, and they incorporated yoga and Pilates so that the average person can attempt to do many of the things that only people who are professionally trained to do. So yes, you're right. Very good. Good job,
You
Evan.
yeah, well, he's brilliant. You brought up some childhood dreams for me, because I remember I went through a phase at about age 8 or 9 where I had somehow seen several movies that were set in a circus. And I was just enamored with the idea, just absolutely taken with the idea of being able to do the trapeze stuff. But I was, I had no way to access any of those lessons. So maybe if I get to do some of that work with you, that could be some childhood wish fulfillment. And so another thing for you is, what are your current fitness goals? Is there anything, like as an aerial instructor, any new sequences you want to learn, or maybe you want to put on a kilogram of muscle in the next year? I'm always emphasizing the muscles.
Leigh, being the big convincer that you are, you asked me if I'd like to compete next year. Bodybuilding genre, not exactly the full gamut, but a genre of it. And because of that, I've been having a lot of nightly discussions with my husband, and also a lot of contemplating. And I've kind of started. So I guess my fitness goal would be to compete possibly next year.
I'm so excited.
Alongside Leigh. And the thing is, okay, let me put it this way. A lot of people may think, only people who are vain want to do that. Only people who don't have anything in their, up here want to do that. And I want to show them that that's not true either. And actually, it wasn't vanity. First of all, I didn't think of it on my own accord. It was Leigh.
Suggestion.
But the next thing is that I'm a woman nearing the end of my 40s. Okay, I'm getting into that range.
She doesn't look like it, ladies and gentlemen. She does not look like it.
I do. But the thing is, I try my best to show not only younger women, but I also want to show older women that you don't have to succumb to your hormones and just kind of, I don't know, I can't help myself. I really want to show many women out there the alternative. I mean, not everybody has to compete or go into a bikini competition, but I just want to show women that there's so many things you can overcome without expensive surgeries and without just getting all these procedures. So not that I have anything to say about that. I don't have anything against that. I'm just saying you don't have to only resort to that to feel good about yourself. So that's what I would like to do.
So I'm excited because hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, I went on stage 4 times this year for evening gown competitions, and that was a great learning process for me. It helped me become stronger in so many ways. And I had asked Aionna if she would be interested next year because I felt that it would be good for you, that you would be good for it. Like people would benefit from seeing you there, and that it would, but it's just a feeling. You go with feelings and you see, but I hope so. I hope we get to do it. That would be fantastic. Oh, this is about how we met. I think you're the most affable people at the party.
Well, thank you.
We do so try to be affable, Professor. I declare, never have I been so friendly with people. Just suddenly very, very sassy Jane Austen. We said, "Oh, you just met each other. I thought you met each other for a long time." Well, that's the way it is with a good friendship. Things go kind of quickly when you meet someone someone that you like, someone lovely. And could you please mention the difference between Pilates and yoga? I would
Wow,
also be glad to
that's
hear.
that's a long that's actually a quite long discussion. Okay,
That's
just to make
a
it
10 YouTube video series.
I know. Okay, so just to make it simple, yoga comes from India, okay? And Pilates was made from a man named Joseph
Switzerland?
Pilates. You know what? I really, to be honest, I
Mm-mm,
don't know because I actually don't do Pilates. So I
mm-mm.
can't really give you a lot of background other than who it's made from. A very smart gentleman who figured out ways to use different devices to help people. But really, I believe he carried many of the fundamentals from yoga as well. But I would say Pilates, you use a lot of machines, like the
Yes.
bigger machines, or smaller weights and
Mm-mm.
blocks and smaller devices. But yoga is pretty much purely mat oriented. Really, you're
Yes.
learning to just use your body in a way to elevate it to the next level. That's what I would just simply put.
And correct me if this is off track, but my understanding is that in most yoga classes there is a spiritual or a mental component
Well,
focusing on that kind of energy.
yes and no. I personally do not go on that side. I'm more about the athletic element to it
Mm-mm-mm.
rather than the spiritual. And that's why I actually came into the aerial hammock world
Ah,
because that's really void of that. So some yoga studios do deal with the spiritual and the meditation and all of that. I'm more on just the athletics and the movements.
mm-mm-mm.
I believe that, yes, everybody is spiritual. It's true. And you do need strength from something else other than your physical body. But I don't delve deeply into that at all
It
when it comes to working out.
it can get complicated, but
Yes.
so we say that yoga often has that, and Pilates definitely almost always has Pilates almost always has an element of devices. There are
Yes.
things. There
Mm-hmm.
are things that you
Right.
use. It's so cool about competing alongside.
Yeah.
I really want to do it because I'm preparing for bikini next year.
Mm-hmm.
Today, body fat percentage came out at 16%, which is high for me, but it's okay. It's okay. Variation's fine. It's winter. It's off
Mm-hmm.
season. We're fine.
I know.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm preparing for bikini next year. But it is definitely, my heart is still so much an evening gown. It's so
Mm-hmm.
feminine. It's
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So elegant and refined. It's
Mm-hmm.
a great category. And so it's a delight for me to put on
Right.
the dress again and be on stage with Aionna. And
Yes.
we had a hello. Hi, good to see you.
Hello.
And where are you joining us from? Are you from here in Korea? And let's see. I agree with Professor Curmudgeon that you're the most fantastic wherever you are. Thank you, dear. And so we had just asked Iona's current fitness goals, and I'd like to remind everybody there's a link in the description for my WhatsApp group. If you want fitness support, just group of people to talk to about,
Mm-hmm.
drinking your daily water, getting in your walking,
Yes.
going to the gym, that we are there for you to discuss that. And I wanted to move on to some deeper questions.
Sure.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Well, this
Go ahead.
I've gotten a lot of great advices, but the one that really sticks is because I'm a homeschooling mom too.
Oh,
So,
she's special,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen. Not just everyone
Yeah.
can do that.
No, it's just
I
not
say
too
that
many
because
options.
my mother was a homeschooling mom.
Hmm.
Little known fact, ladies and gentlemen, I was homeschooled. I was taught not at a school, but taught at home by my mother for all 12 years of school, childhood to graduation. And then I went to university normally. But
Hmm.
I just so much respect Iona. I love
Hmm.
that. So back on the topic, best advice you've gotten.
Okay, so it's related to homeschooling, but I think it applies to many things. There was a mom long time ago who told me, if you ever pick a curriculum, there's no such thing as the best curriculum. They're all good. Just pick one and go with it.
Mm-mm-mm.
And really, that was the best advice, because people are always looking for that best thing. They're always trying to find the next best thing, without really enjoying or appreciating what they currently have. And there's no consistency, I think, especially in the modern age. And so I think you can apply that to anything. Instead of always looking for the best thing, you've got to look at what you have and think, this is the best. I really appreciate this. I'm thankful for this. I really want to honor this, whatever it is that you have, and be content. I think that's what she really wanted to tell me. And that was one of the best advice I've ever gotten.
Oh, I love that. So everyone, curriculum is, it's a group of textbooks. And if you teach your children at home, if you homeschool, you have to choose the textbooks you'll teach them from. And naturally, you might be a little nervous about picking the best one. It's your precious child's education.
Mm-hmm.
And so that piece of advice says, it doesn't matter. It matters that you choose something and you give it your best. And that is absolutely true when it comes to exercise. I know,
Right.
should you do Pilates or weight training or swimming? Yes, whatever you
Yes,
do,
that's the answer.
make that your thing. Give your best heart, your best energy to that thing that you do, and it will become the best because you've
Right.
chosen it. I like
Yeah.
that. And that's a good one, Aionna. That's one for me to think over. That's one for me to. Okay, so we have an official Wikipedia entry from everyone's favorite professor. Modern yoga, like Pilates, is mind and body discipline, though yoga classes are more likely to address spiritual aspects. Pilates emphasizes core strength. Yoga emphasizes flexibility. Thank you. I could not put it into words, but that describes what I think when I think yoga. So core strength and yoga. I have not a deep background, but some slight experience in pole dance, and I feel like that would translate to aerial fairly well.
I've done some pole too. During Corona, that was the only studio open at the time, so I went into that too.
So much fun.
Yes,
And
it
it's
is.
insanely difficult. I love me
Oh,
some
so
difficult
hard.
things.
Right.
Ryan, hey, I'm glad you're here. Like I never see you anymore, Ryan. What you been doing? What you been doing? Oh, this is Ren. I think you met Ren at the party. She said, "Say
Yes.
true."
Hi,
That's right. How you and Lily doing? You guys okay? You guys okay? I miss you. I want to see you soon. I'll be in Seoul this weekend. Hit me up. Hit up your girl. And we had something here from Evan. What would be one critical strength area for someone who wants to try flying yoga for the first time? It looks like I'd need good mobility, flexibility, and core more than just strength.
Actually, the first step is actually understanding where your body is. Because when you're flipped
It's over
upside
here.
down,
It's over
I'm
here.
serious. Right. When you're flipped upside down, left and right, up and down becomes so jumbled up, especially when you're doing it for the first time. And even though you think in your mind, oh, I know my left from my right, when you're flipped upside down and you have all this anxiety going through your mind, like, I'm going to fall, I'm going to die, I'm going to crash and burn. Generally, everybody won't know their left from their right. You're telling them to move their left leg, they're moving their right arm. I mean, all kinds of things are happening. So actually, you have to be calm and know where your body is. Body awareness is the most important thing when it comes to hammock training, because you're all over the place. And then when you're turned around at certain points, so your back is now your front and your front is now your back. So it's more about being comfortable with the hammock. And then all this other stuff, mobility, flexibility, core strength, that's all very important, but really body awareness and being comfortable with the hammock is the number one step.
Oh, that's marvelous,
Mm-hmm.
and counter to what most people think. I
Mm-hmm.
think what people imagine what Ariel would be like, and then what they're
Mm-hmm.
actually experiencing in the moment would be
Right.
very different. It
Right.
also sounds like keeping a cool head in a
Yes.
confusing moment,
Right. Right.
being able to slow down and go, okay,
Right.
this is solvable. This
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm. Right.
it reminds me of my first time trying scuba diving, and
Yes.
then just being flopping around like this is everything's going wrong. It's
Mm-hmm. Right.
okay. So you have just the best perspectives on things. Let's see. I think the same happens with learning English. I want to be the best at learning English. I want to move to the next level quickly. What do you think? Oh, the idea of
Right.
wanting
Mm-hmm.
to do the best only
Right.
and not
Right.
accept.
Mm-hmm.
You have any words to add to that, Iona? Anything
Right.
to?
I've also been teaching English for a long time. I teach my own children, and really that applies to learning, not just languages, but any kind of learning out there. You really need to look at the current moment, be
Mm, mm,
present
mm, 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 mm.
right now. What is it that I'm doing right now? And absorb whatever it is that you're learning at that moment, because when you keep trying to look to the next level, and usually people are looking like way too ahead of where they currently are. And what ends up happening is you end up getting discouraged because you're thinking, when am I ever going to get there? So my strategy is, don't look where you want to go, look how far you've come. And you're going to
Oh,
see how much you've improved. So looking
oh,
at how much you've come is so much more important than where you want to go when it comes to learning.
and it's so motivating. And we must also remember that the human existence, we
Mm-hmm.
are always moving toward a receding goal. Like
Right.
as you move toward it, it keeps moving away, which is
Right.
great because we want to keep improving. It would be terrible
Mm-hmm.
if you said, I want to achieve this goal, and then you achieved it and you didn't do anything for the next 60
Right.
years.
Mm-hmm.
We
Right.
want to keep, approaching something.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means you have to check back sometimes and
Mm-hmm.
take some joy and some pride in
Yes.
all that you have done,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because you will never get where you want to be. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you get there, there will be a new there
Mm-hmm.
that you want to be
Mm-hmm.
at.
Right.
And oh, that was a good one. And let's see. This is so we had just gone through what's the best advice you've ever gotten. It was a beautiful one. What advice should people ignore? What's something you hear either
All
for
right.
moms or women or
This
any
is this is
category?
good. This is going to be controversial. You got to be ready for this one. It's going to
No,
be
oh,
controversial.
no, I'm primed. I'm ready.
Okay, okay. I
Hit
might
me.
ruffle a few feathers or make a lot of people angry.
No, no, no. This is so great. I've done so little controversy on my channel. I'm here for it.
Okay, it's pretty controversial. Okay, I'm going to lay it down to you guys. I've been married 17 years,
Okay.
and this is about marriage, and it goes out to single people. The advice you should ignore is, you should get married when you're ready. You should get married when you have everything in place and you have a career, you've got money. That is, I think, one of the worst advice in the modern age, because
Okay. Hmm.
it was very controversial, because that's what older people are telling younger people. That's what younger people are telling each other.
Mm-mm-mm.
Honestly, we are people. We are
Mm-mm-mm.
never going to be fully ready. And when you're in a place where you're going to be going towards a certain goal, um, you're gonna you're gonna have a lot of things happen in your life before you meet that quote unquote perfect person, which there is no such thing. But really, I didn't get married super young, but I wasn't really old either. Um, and the thing is, even though it's difficult, you may not have all the money, you may not have your career in place, but you have this partner in life I mean, if you find somebody, I'm not saying just marry somebody down the street. That's
Right.
not what I'm
It's
saying.
not about lowering your
Yeah,
standards for your life
yeah,
partner. It's
right.
about changing your vision for
Vision, right,
yourself, your
right,
vision of
right,
being
right.
ready.
And in this, and it's really hard because this modern age makes it really difficult to marry young anymore.
Mm, mm, mm,
But
mm,
what I'm
mm.
trying to say is it's the wrong way to go, because the idea of teaming up with somebody and going through that young adult life into your midlife and the later life is super important. Like, I mean, if you can have that full experience, I would highly recommend that, because you will never be 100% ready. You could have all the money in the world, but that will not make you the perfect mate for somebody. You could have a house, you could have money, you could have a car, everything. That doesn't make you the perfect person for somebody else.
I
I think
think
that growth.
I think people we so much want a guarantee.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And it can be easy to say to ourselves that we will skip all of the
mm-hmm,
trials and difficulties in a marriage if
mm-hmm,
we are merely prepared enough.
mm-hmm,
And you
mm-hmm.
can't be. And
Right,
trials and problems are part of the package. It's a
right,
feature, not a bug. That's part of the relationship.
right.
So that's the advice for the home crowd is get married before you're ready because you can't be ready.
Okay.
Speaking of which, everyone, I would love to get married. So wife me up somebody. I'm so not ready for it.
Leigh, I
You
love your attitude.
you're my
Honestly, I just
you're
felt
my
like
queen.
I would really hit a lot of buttons on this one, but I need to be honest. I need to be
Mm-mm-mm.
honest. That was like the first
No,
thing that I thought of. I couldn't, change it
no.
any other way. Yeah.
I thought that was I thought that was wonderful. Oh, this is an interesting comment we got back from Ryan. You got a point. I always thought myself, no matter how hard I try to tell them out, it's not even possible to meet someone. So gotta wait till your time comes. Well, sometimes it's a difference between maybe meeting a good person or knowing some good possibilities and thinking, oh
Right.
wait, I need to make this much money. I need to have my own house.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between there's really not anyone,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if there's
that's true.
there's not
Yeah,
options.
you can't force it. I'm not saying
Friends,
force it. Grab anybody. You marry me. We're supposed to marry young. Iona told me. What? Yeah, that's not what I'm
so
trying to say.
Ren's having some reactions to our marriage
I
talk.
know, I can tell.
It's
But
okay.
I'm honest.
No. My girl's out here spitting fire, bringing the truth. She's telling how she sees it, and I like that. I'm here for that.
Mhm.
Do you have specific hopes for your sons, Iona, and how they'll approach and develop their relationship with fitness as a guy, from someone who has concerns of the hyper masculinity culture? Do you have
Wow,
any thoughts? Yeah, that's kind of
that's a loaded question.
it's a it's layered. It's a
Um,
question in layers.
well, okay, first let's start with the little one. He's only 10, so I'm not going to have him lifting weights
Mm-mm.
or actually, you know what? Funny, you ask. I let him do pole. My younger
Oh,
son does pole, and I don't want to say pole dancing. There's a big difference between pole dancing and
good.
pole sports.
Thank
Pole is
you.
actually sports.
Mm-mm.
So he does pole sports.
And in many cultures in other countries, like I could be wrong here, but I think like
Mhm.
Central and South American cultures, there are a lot of pole-based sports similar.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm. And actually, if you look at the history of pole, that is also yet another, in this modern age, feminine sport that was actually meant for a man. Like yoga was actually meant for a man, ballet was actually meant for a man. Joseph
Wow.
Pilates, a man developed Pilates. And here we have, in this modern age, men will think, oh, if I do Pilates, I'm feminine. Or if I do yoga, I'm feminine. Those are very masculine, even ballet, a very masculine type of sport or dance. So I would highly encourage men to try these out. You shouldn't be ashamed for trying to try something that was actually for men, actually. And men
So
can actually excel. Mhm.
So maybe one counter to some people's
Mhm.
ideas that exercise or training
Mhm.
could create hypermasculinity. Maybe one
Mhm.
counter to it is the fact that there's so many options,
Mhm.
and strengthening or training your body, the mental discipline that comes
Mhm.
from that is
Mhm.
probably going to be more beneficial than not.
Mhm.
I feel like just my perspective as a sports person, as an athlete,
Mhm.
I feel like the problems of hypermasculinity don't come because men are lifting a lot of weights and growing big
Right.
muscles. I feel
I
like it's
agree.
deeper social
Mhm.
issues.
Mhm.
I don't think a surface thing like a part of your body, or
Mhm.
or exercising a lot. Let's
Right.
see. This was a great one. I respect your opinion and point about marriage. So when we find our right partner, we can get married. Yes. Dum dum
Yay.
dum. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm not supposed to sing on YouTube, not even on lives. But I think "Here Comes the Bride" is not copyrighted anymore. I don't know. I think
Yes.
it's like "Happy
Uh-huh.
Birthday," public
Yes.
domain.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, and the professor asks, "How many steps do you walk every day? Do you have an
Okay.
accurate count?"
No, well, the thing is, as a mom, if you're doing a lot of household chores, you can hit 10,000 pretty quickly. But I don't really want to count those as steps per se, because there's a big difference between labor and working out. Labor
Yep.
is not working out, you know. In Korean, you would say "노동," labor.
Mm-mm.
Labor is not working out. Working out is for the specific purpose of developing your body to keep it healthy. Labor
Mm-mm.
doesn't contribute to that. So if I were to consciously do it, I would like to say at least around 6 to 7,000 steps daily contributed to working out. But I would like to up that back to 10,000. When I was training hard, I'll go at least 10,000, if not more.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
And I think another thing about exercise is it's not just it's nice to get a high step count no matter what, but
Right,
exercise is my time. It's a time that I
right.
can
It
focus on
is.
stuff. And also, Professor Curmudgeon is asking because he wants to brag. This man never
Uh,
clocks less than 30,000 steps a day. So I
Wow,
think it's just an
amazing.
excuse to put that in everybody's
Mhm.
face. Oh, so he said they're probably trying to try something that's only for men, or the opposite. Unfortunately, um, in my case, when a girl tries something only for boys, they consider that as rude. Because Layla's from Saudi Arabia, so
Oh,
in
yeah.
some countries there are a
Mhm.
little more specific attitudes
Mhm.
and clear-cut lines between what people think is okay and not okay. So
Mhm.
it
Right.
varies. It varies a lot. You're in the zone when you're hyped and work out. So Ryan is a power lifter. So he knows that
Mm.
feeling. He knows that feeling of having his own time.
Right.
Um, and how great that is. So you
Mhm.
you had some you were just dropping some truth bombs there, Iona, on the best advice you've ever gotten and the advice that people should ignore. And this is a cute one, a quirky thing to ask. What's an unusual habit or a ridiculous thing that you absolutely love? Like some habit that
Okay.
you have, or something. Do
This
you
one's
know?
not easy to answer because everything I do seems unusual or ridiculous to people around me. So I'm
Okay.
not sure. That's why I can't really pinpoint. I guess wanting to go into a bikini competition as a, late 40s type woman would be considered pretty ridiculous.
I need to
Probably,
I need to
yeah.
introduce you to the vice president of the ICN organization.
Hmm.
She's, I think, 46 this year, and
Hmm.
fly. This woman is
Wow.
goddess.
Yes, yes, yes. So, I mean, but in that world, it's normal. But if I were to just go down the street and tell them that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a few stares.
Mm-mm.
So I'm prepared to be judged,
There you
both
go.
literally and figuratively, because they're going to judge you when you go up there. But
Truth,
I'm
truth.
prepared. I'm prepared and I'm okay with that. Hmm.
And I think that was part of my journey as well, doing this stuff, is hearing all the voices in your head, maybe as a good girl from a conservative
Hmm.
family.
Oh yeah.
There are voices
Hmm.
in your head that say, if you do anything that draws people's eyes, and if it's
Hmm.
anything involving your appearance,
Hmm.
like your body or taking selfies or anything,
Hmm.
that is vanity and of no
Hmm.
value, well,
Hmm.
perhaps it is of great value. Perhaps we just
Hmm.
can change our perspectives. So I like that. I like that you're willing to take on. Oh, and Ren says, I try to do 6,000 a day now. I used to do more because I go jogging every morning, but I'm not sure if I'll start that back up. 6,000 is respectable.
It
And
is.
Ren, I see you. I see you on Facebook doing your live
Hmm.
workouts. Iona, you need to see her. She like
Oh, I
she
want
like
to watch.
works out live. It's
Hmm.
like it's
Hmm.
braver than me. I
Hmm.
edit my workouts for people.
Yeah.
So she's kind of fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, Ren, could we interest you in an evening gown competition? Perchance. Just more the merrier, but I know it's for Iona. I know it's for her. It was calling her. Um, and this is a good one for you. Uh,
Okay.
how has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for a later success?
Oh, I love this question. Basically, I fail all the time. Every day is is a day filled with failures. But you know what, though? I was so afraid of failure for pretty much most of my life.
Oh,
But once I went through the habit of failing, I know that sounds funny, you realize it's not so bad. You realize it's
hmm.
not so bad. It's not as horrible as you imagined. Sometimes it's pretty bad, I have to say. If you crash and burn and everybody saw you, it's kind of embarrassing too. But I think that kind of failure is good for people because it keeps you humble. We need a little humility every day. So I think humility isn't bad. And if failure gives that a little bit, I don't think it's so bad. And you learn from it too. So
Yes.
let us all fail together.
Yes. Fail further, fail harder.
Hmm. Fail harder. Yeah.
Fail with greater frequency. But it's true.
Hmm.
I had heard a famous art instructor say once that every artist has, I think it was 100,000 bad drawings in their
Right.
hands. He
Hmm.
said, get them
Hmm.
out now. Just
Right.
draw and draw and draw. And a lot of failure is going to increase your chance of success.
Right.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
Let's see.
Even on the hammock too, I have to say, I put up those nice videos, but
Mm-mm.
I spent nearly a decade doing this. So when people come into the class with me, like sometimes I'm not the teacher, I'm the participant. I think people think, oh my goodness, how come I can't be like her? And I'm thinking, well, because I've been doing this quite a while. And I also practice on my own. And if you see me
Mm-mm.
during practice, you're going to see, whoa, oh, I see. And, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. I just post the part that came out good. But if I showed
Yes.
you all the things that I did behind the scenes, you would see that it wasn't all roses.
Right. We all curate what we do to a certain
Hmm.
extent, and it's not bad that we do. No one
Hmm.
wants to see a 45-minute video of my exercise or
Right,
of your
right,
aerial. Like that's not.
right.
It's okay to show those slivers, but
Hmm.
always know anyone that you envy. There's more than you are seeing. So
Right.
Ren says she does exercise live for the accountability.
I see, I
Jeez, Leigh,
see.
how many social interactions you got? Um, how many people are there? I want to catch them
Actually,
all.
I have a question for you, Leigh.
Yes.
Do you know your IMBT or whatever that thing is,
Oh,
that personality?
MBTI. Yes, it's a
MBTI, that's it.
yes.
I'm like
It's
mixing it all up. See,
oh
failure
no,
right there.
I always get it flipped. It's ENFP. It's ENFP. Do you know yours?
Mm. Well, you know what? It changed.
Mm-mm.
I am an ENTJ.
Mm-mm.
ENTJ, or in the past, when I was a little bit more softer of a person, ENFJ.
Okay,
But right
okay.
now,
So
currently ENTJ. T and J change. I mean, T and F changes.
okay, it's sometimes, sometimes it works like that. Oh, let's see. Layla said, unluckily, in some cultures, they feel so strange or bad when they see someone's different from others. So they always want you to be like usual people. And it's
Yes.
so understandable. I mean, I know where anyone is coming from with that. And yet I also know in any society, any country, we have to have both. We have to have tradition
I
and
agree.
change because tradition becomes corrupted. Anything that we have will erode and get worse over time. So we have to have change. But if we have too much change, we're throwing away valuable things. So that you can't have the one without the other.
Right. I agree.
And we got imagine joining a circus as a kid. Circus movements. I used to imagine joining a circus as a kid. Circus movements are always captivating, like magic. Same, Evan, same. It's just calls you like as a kid, you want to do this stuff.
Now,
Oh,
men can do this too. I've
yes.
seen men do it. Yeah.
And Evan's a runner, so he definitely could. And let's see, Ryan was mentioning, having some setbacks in life, but after 9 attempts of taking certification exams, I finally got, that's my boy.
Good job.
That's my boy. That's how you do it.
Awesome.
You fall down 7 times, get up 8. I feel like rapping some Eminem right now, but I'm not going to because copyright.
I know.
I feel we all learn from our failure. That'll push us to try more and more. It does.
Yes.
Oh, and our dear Professor Kumuch, I've listened to 15 students, all women presentations about MBTI this semester. Everyone, just so you know, I think many people in many countries are aware of the MBTI personality system. There's 16 different personalities. But in Korea, where I live and Aionna lives, it's a trend that has become a near addiction. It is very hard to have a 1-hour conversation with anyone without them bringing up these personalities.
It's like, hi, I'm an ENFJ. What are you? That's what they usually do.
And I'm like, am I supposed to know what that means about you? Like, if you said I'm a Pisces, like I might know to avoid you.
Well, since you brought it up, what are you in terms of the astrological side?
My star sign is Pisces.
Pisces?
No, not Pisces. Sorry, Taurus.
Taurus.
And I can't remember what all Taurus is, but I think Taurus is supposed to be connected to the senses a lot, like things that taste good, smell good, feel good, and I am. I'm dedicated to beauty. And my girl Ren says ENFP. But somebody told me I should take it twice a year because it could change, and that. I say that's a step too far. I want my personality to be one thing forever, ever, and I want to never change. Oh my! I don't believe in MBTI, but I have no problem to give it a shot. Do you know also in Korea there's a few other personality things. There's the personality based on the year you were born, because there's an animal for every year, and personality based on blood type. I don't know what's your blood type.
That I think is totally false. I'm A, and supposedly you're shyer, and I was like, really? Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm shy sometimes, so I guess it's correct sometimes. Yeah.
It's interesting. In Korea, men with blood type B are supposed to be playboys and cheaters, and you can't trust them. And I think that's so unfair.
It is unfair.
The entire blood type just gets this bad reputation.
I know.
But I'm type O, and we're supposed to be brave and leaders. So I'll accept that. I'll keep that. Is there a classification of beginner, intermediate, expert level specific movements for aerial yoga?
Yes, there are.
Yes.
We made it all up, to be honest. 0, 1, and 2 currently. I don't think anyone can go beyond 2, because beyond 2 would be Literally, you're training for Cirque du Soleil after
Oh, okay,
two.
okay.
Yeah.
After two.
So yeah.
The it makes me wonder, like something like Taekwondo, like you've got all the belts
Mm-hmm.
and then they start adding
Mm-hmm.
stripes to the belts. You
Mm-hmm.
might get like level 2.1, level
Mm-hmm.
2.96. And let's see. And my girl Ren is also a Taurus. So
Mm-hmm.
were you born in April or May? Because I'm a May
I'm a
baby. I'm
May
not supposed,
baby too,
really. I'm not
but
supposed
I'm
to
a
say.
Gemini.
Okay. It's all right. We can still be friends. Why can't we be friends?
No,
Oh,
Tauruses and
copyright
Geminis are
now.
good friends.
That's true. And I know a lot of people believe in MBTI and they believe it affects their lives. So MBTI is it's less like astrology. It's less like a
Mm-hmm.
forecast over your life. And it's more like um, you are extroverted. So you like people, but
Mm-hmm.
it's, which is true. Nay. Okay. We are going to have to
I
celebrate
know,
when it comes,
exactly. We're gonna
ladies.
have a
This is
big May baby
this
celebration.
is too much coincidence here.
I know.
We gotta do it up big. We got a birthday like we've never birthdayed before.
May 15, is that your birthday? I don't know. I was just giving a wild guess.
I'm not supposed to say. I'm not supposed to
Oh,
say.
how come?
Well, it's because if people know your birthday, as more people know you, you start getting texts and stuff. And
Oh,
so
okay.
more famous friends of mine,
Okay.
they'll get birthday messages for a week. So I'm preempting it
Ah,
by letting no one ever know.
okay.
Um,
All right. My birthday is in September then.
okay,
I'm changing it.
that's right. You gotta
You know,
anticipate being
I
deeply,
know.
deeply famous. You gotta
No,
prepare
you know what?
yourself.
I don't care about that. I just want to put myself out there because I want to be the voice of reason.
And
That's
how
why I'm
how
here.
about that, dear? Would you? We have maybe 5 more minutes. Everybody, we're going to be
Okay.
wrapping up. But we've talked a little bit about your aerial experience. But how about your YouTube and what you want to be in the world, the change you want to create? Will you tell us a little about that?
Okay. If again, if you just left me to do whatever, I'll probably be ranting all day, but I don't want to be the ranter. So I decided to be a little bit more interesting
Mm-mm.
by doing things like fashion. People
Hmm,
want to look good, no matter
that's
what.
right.
People, to some level, everybody wants to look good. And
That's a
I just want
service.
to, right, I just want to help women of all types, of all demographics, to feel chic and
Mm-mm.
comfy because I don't want to look good but uncomfortable. And everything that I choose is centered around comfort as well. They
Mm.
go hand in hand. And so I want to be able to give really good ideas, inspirations to all kinds of women out there. And then
Okay,
maybe that will
so
be the starting point for having conversations.
yes, and anytime you provide people with something good,
Mm-hmm.
information, entertainment, anything, you're putting something into the world. You're creating something from yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
people will respond to that, and you will be able to have a bigger impact and help more people as you move forward. More things will
Mm-hmm.
open up. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to it, and I'm
Thank you.
hoping we can all see a lot more content from Iona in the future. You can check out her Instagram here, and
Mm-hmm.
you can check her YouTube here, and also look in the comments. She'll be
Mm-hmm.
making a lot more content for us in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're closing out. Final two minutes here. Let's say, don't say your birthday. Okay, so we know about the birthdays.
Okay.
Uh, there are bots mining data here.
Oh, I
Can,
really didn't
Professor
know.
Professor Curmudgeon, can you say that like in maybe like a Scottish accent later? There are bots mining data here. I think that was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I get lots of spam texts. See, it's things that you don't think you have to not reveal, but let's say I love your reels. So yes, guys, if you look at Iona's Insta, you can see bye and please invite me to the secret meeting. You will get invited. Everyone says thank you, And
you.
once again, thank you so much for joining us. I love you as a person. I love what you're going to do in the future. I believe in you. So it was a lovely
Brilliant.
conversation. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.